Mood or atmosphere is important in all films. The way it looks, the way it sounds, and the way it makes you feel. But to Michael Mann, it's more important than anything else. Ever since his debut film Thief, it's been clear that Mann's real focus is not the eye-catching exteriors, but the internal emotional struggles of his characters. But because his characters operate in a world where they are wary of showing their emotions, it is often the mood that he uses to convey this to us. The atmosphere is the emotional state of the character, even if the characters aren't ready to face it themselves. Near the start of Heat, De Niro's character Neil is seen in his expensive ocean view house. In another film it would be enough that this looks cool, but Mann is using this scene to explore Neil's character. The emptiness of his house and the fact that the only possessions you can see are his gun and his car keys reflects his philosophy of never forming an attachment to anything or anyone. This is a philosophy that he's going to betray with fatal consequences. This is typical of Mann's characters: people who work the night shift, thieves, assassins, outlaws, outsiders, and he is going to let us see inside them and their lonely professions. Talking about the mad general in Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, a film which inspired him to become a director, Mann said, "The whole film is a third act. There's no prelude, no context, we're just with him. We know who the guy is and we catch up along the way." From Tom Cruise's character in Collateral to James Caan's in Thief, or even Daniel Day-Lewis in The Last of the Mohicans literally running onto the scene, we are dropped straight into their lives and the mood fills in what we need to know. It could be anything from the music to the use of almost documentary-style close-ups on the equipment the characters are using. For Mann, the goal is authenticity. He has talked about his films being stylised realism, but also says, "Being authentic with the material is something I aspire to." This scene from The Insider is a great example of how Michael Mann uses mood to tell us about a character. Here Mann takes a completely realistic setting, a harshly lit golf range at night, and turns it dreamlike. It opens with an almost unintelligible shot of these striking white dots on a black canvas, with some sort of machinery slowly entering frame, like something out of a science fiction movie, but nothing is what it seems. Russell Crowe's character has just taken an irreversible step towards the danger that comes with being a whistleblower. He's gone through the looking glass, into a world where nothing makes sense. The driving range is littered with golf balls, the harsh lighting is nightmarish and unforgiving, and the only other person on the range is looking at him. We experience Crowe's growing anger, disorientation and paranoia almost before he does. And yet for all the surreal touches, the scene feels unromanticised and authentic. In a way, although it was shot on film, The Insider is Mann's rehearsal for his digital films to come. Even in something as glamorous as Miami Vice, he resists the appealing textures of film and instead gives us uncompromising digital imagery, where we can see characters on a rooftop and a thunderstorm on the horizon, all with broad depth of field. As Mann said, digital makes things feel more real, like you could reach out and touch them. Earlier in his career, of course, Mann had used his Miami Vice series to change TV forever by making it much more cinematic, but by the time he made his movie, he was subverting this. Before he gives us the money shot of the powerboat speeding to Cuba, we see Colin Farrell's Sonny Crockett poorly framed and rocked out of shot by a lower quality camera strapped to the genuinely speeding powerboat. He just told his partner, "I know what I'm doing," but the visuals suggest the opposite, and the mood, which through most of the films as close as we get to understanding what his character is thinking and feeling, captures the thrill and danger of being virtually out of control as a conflicted undercover cop. Mann has stated that he wants nothing gratuitous, no vanity. I think this applies to his characters as well. They may be proud of their expertise, but they never exaggerate and they don't like talking about themselves, or not until they finally open up to their romantic interest, usually with those fatal consequences. Before that, we have to rely on Michael Mann to show us, using mood, who these people are inside. Michael Mann is the real insider.